Well, everybody loves the idea of saving money, especially now Kevin Rudd has dropped the big R word. So just how easy can it be to find a spare $1,000 or even $5,000 a year?
And we hit the streets to see what you had to say about how to save money.
I try to buy what's in season, really. If it's, you know, whatever vegetables are in season and that's what we eat most, then that's what I try and cook with.
Well, I basically put it in a time deposit that I have at the bank and save it in those terms.
I guess I try to not go shopping too often.
Don't touch it, I guess. You can save money is by dining in more often, not eating out so much. How about you, Jamie? Any ideas?
Ooh, I don't know. Try pick a cheap hotel for your vacation or a hostel.
I use NetBank, you know, check my balances all the time. And I guess that inspires me to spend less, but I'm not sure if it's working.
I don't know, make my own lunch and just the basic kind of thing. Don't overspend when you go out.
Try to avoid shops, I guess. Yeah, window shopping always turns into real spending, so...
Yeah, doesn't it? What? Yeah, the Money Show's the morning show's money man, Anthony Bell, joins us now. Morning to you, Anthony.
Morning, guys.
Now, is it really possible to find a spare $5,000?
It is, but it's very hard to just pick a number like 5,000, Kylie, and actually have it at the end of the year. But if you start breaking up into small increments, it makes the journey a lot easier. So saving $100 a week, for argument's sake, is a much easier way to go than ending up with 5 at the end of the year.
Where can we save the most money?
There's a couple of places, but it's about needs versus wants. I mean, that is the most important part. So the needs stay where they are, and it's the things that we actually cut on the want side. So, you know, it's little things that we do day to day. So start off at the supermarket and shop for specials. There's so many great bargains our supermarkets offer, and you know, even the day after, they're actually cheaper than what they were the day before. I'm a big one on buying standard petrol. I think all sorts of cars say that it's recommended to use the upper grade petrol, but the truth be known is they still work with the lower grade. Do dinners at home. It costs a lot less to do dinner at home, and you actually save if you've got kids from babysitters as well on the same night. Look for cheaper credit cards. That's got to be one of the things that we do on a monthly basis, and make sure we keep credit under control. And the last one is probably not drink too much, and if you do, don't drink the expensive stuff. Bottle of Stony or something like that, and head out on that. And so, yeah, that's probably one of the big issues. You know, guys in social situations do spend a lot of extra stuff on things, buy the same stuff, but can cut it down. Quite
easy to do that. You tell us, how can we reduce our credit card interest rate? Because isn't that predetermined by the banks?
Look, it is, and credit card interest rates are still the highest, despite the fact our home mortgage rates have gone down considerably. Unfortunately, the interest rates on credit cards have stayed pretty much the same. But it's about the bonus points in most, and if you're not using all the extra points and you're not using the benefits that come with it, you can go to a cheaper card. There's some credit cards at 12%, and there's some at sort of 16 or 17.
So how can skipping an appointment save us money? Won't we fork out more in the end?
Yeah, don't skip the appointments that are essential for living and stuff like that, like a doctor's appointment. Okay. We're not suggesting anything like that, but it's also it's the lifestyle appointments. It might be the hairdressers and the regularity that you go to that. It might also be with things like massages or personal training, to just stretch it out a little bit longer, so you actually don't have to you can train yourself, for argument's sake, rather than have someone else come and train you. So yeah, there's a lot of small parts to cut, and that's the thing I want to keep emphasising, is small cuts. The thing to get there.
So we're only having a massage once a year, and we're drinking cheap drink. So where do we put this extra $5,000 that we might magically come up with?
Well, remember, like I said, we've had a year of really uncertain times, and there's investment opportunities come in uncertain economic times like they are now. So one of the places I look for is into the property market. I think it's strong, but $5,000 may not be enough to help you buy your first home. So look for things. There's a real bottom out of some great quality stocks and shares. Do the sorts of shares which make sense. The supermarket shares are going really well right now. They're paying good dividends, and they're actually really cheap to buy. And have a long-term view and hang on to them for a few years. I'm sure you'll get your money back double-fold.
Okay, thank you, Anthony.
Okay, cool.
This is something close to your heart too, isn't it? Because before the talent show came along, you were doing it pretty tough, weren't you, Paul?
Yeah, we were actually got to the point where we were using credit cards to pay off credit cards, and one of the first bits of advice I was going to, if you've got to spend money, use it to pay little bits off your credit card balances, because no point putting money into savings accounts, because they pay much less on savings than you're paying on what you're borrowing.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Some of the best lessons that we learn are things that we go through ourselves at a certain time, and then when things turn the right way, you still tend to do the same things and live by the same means, which is a good way to be.
Are you doing a bit of that? Are you still, are you quite I was going to say tight with your money, but you know, even though success has now come your way, are you still hanging on to those values?
My wife and I have never been materially minded, so we try not to sort of have too many splurges.
That's unlike the other guy who usually sits in your seat, mate, out on your way.
Thanks, Andy. Thank you.